All right, hey guys, welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome. This is episode 4, right? Of
It
On Evolve.
is.
On Evolve, yeah, we have an official name. I remember. Should probably get a logo made or something, or unless someone wants to do it for us and send us an On Evolve logo, that'd be pretty sick. Um, but yeah, joined once again, co-host Dean. Like to say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, and yeah, so this week we actually have. Oh, also Dean is having trouble with his webcam, so he's going to be flickering in and out apparently throughout
In and out of
the.
existence.
Yeah, for the rest of this cast, unfortunately. Um, but we have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Again, Gen Con happened this weekend. Dean actually made it out there, so we'll probably talk a little bit about that. We locals as always, and we have some cool things to announce. We'll see how long this goes, and everyone's also also everyone's favorite segment, guess that flavor text. And we have a few,
There
yeah,
we go.
we have a few good things to announce at the end after that. So make sure to stick around for that, or at least skip to that part because there are going to be some cool announcements for everyone there and for the community at large in general. Um, but yeah, I mean, with all that out of the way, I guess Dean, you want to talk about Gen Con because you were out there, or Gen Con, or however you pronounce it.
Gen Con.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's people who don't know, Gen Con is in Indianapolis, which is only an hour away from me, so it's super easy for me to get to. Minus the fact that it's quite difficult to get parking. I found out. I went down Thursday which was ended up being a very smart move. I just went for one day because I'm not into board games. I mean, it's board game. There's like some TCGs, but it's mostly for D&D and like tabletop games. Uh, get down there. Well, I leave my house at around 8, which puts me. It doesn't start till 10. Like the vendor hall doesn't open till 10.
Mm-hmm.
The horrible mistake was I didn't realize how bad it would be to find parking. It took me about 45 minutes to park in downtown Indy because the amount of traffic, and it's like just the first day, right? Super busy. Then I had to wait an hour to get my badge, so I didn't even get in the vendor hall until 11. Pretty rough.
That is pretty
Did
rough.
get the Neopet cards. I was very excited, and it came with the playmat. I'm excited. I'm ready for Battle Dome.
Is that what it's
Uh,
called? Or what? What is
yeah,
that?
it's called Battle Dome. So Battle Dome is in the game where you would like do pet fights. It's like the Pitbull arena.
Oh, okay, okay.
Uh,
I think I remember that. I do. I haven't seen anything to do with what is it? Neopets since like
Neopet, yeah.
yeah, since I was like in like middle school or something, or even elementary school. I don't even know. That was so long
But
ago.
not many people have.
Oh no, Dean, are you dying?
Wait, but that's fine. We can live without it.
Okay.
Yeah, the Battle Dome game. There's nothing actually announced. It's just Gen Con or it's just
Mhm.
like convention exclusive cards. Want to grab them because you know me, I'm a rarity type of guy, so I want to max out my stuff. And am I going to be playing that game? Unknown. We'll have to see. Uh, After that, I went up to do the Bushira booth where they had boxes and TDs of Shadowverse, which is very cool because my shop still can't get boxes, and I don't think my box. I don't think my shop can get TDs either. I don't
Oh,
know. Have you noticed that?
there. Yeah, over here, some places restocked. Because starters got a reprint, and I know the distributor I use got them back in and sent emails out. So I know some places are definitely getting them again. But
My shop
yeah.
still doesn't have boosters. We've been waiting like a month.
Mm.
Bushiroad has not or the distributors haven't sent them. Bushiroad had a lot of boxes, so I picked up a box or two. Uh, one box for myself, two for a local. And then I signed up for the demo because I wanted the fighter promo. I need the fighter promo. And then I went to the Lorcana booth, the absolute behemoth of a game that I don't know if it'll be around in a year, to be honest. But
Did you
I
get to
still
play it at
haven't.
all, or you just got the promos?
Thinking you can buy the starter decks that are being scalped. No, you can't buy the starter decks.
They didn't even have like a demo thing you could play.
I think they did, but it was at like 8 or 9 in the morning, and I
Mm,
was also
you missed it.
probably sold
Yeah.
out. It was like a thing
Oh.
where Gen Con is like we go to anime conventions, right?
Yeah,
Have you ever
yeah,
been to Gen Con?
one time for a Weiss event there, but
Yeah,
I didn't get to walk around that much.
Gen Con is unbelievable because it's like board games and like card game stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of mini tournaments and events that you have to sign up for literally like weeks in advance, from my understanding. Because I looked at the schedule and everything was sold out for the entire day. And
Oh,
I'm
okay,
looking
okay,
like 2 days before, and it's just like everything's sold out. You literally can't do anything other than wander the vendor hall or like find an open spot.
okay.
Uh, yeah, so the Lorcana thing, I didn't get to play it, but I can tell you right now the boxes are like $400 on TCG Player, and they cost 140 there. So, you know why people are in the line. The line is very long, but you know that there's a little bit of
Yeah. I mean, it's Disney is a very big IP, so there's always like crazy Disney collectors. So even if the game isn't successful, the card value is going to be really high, at least in the beginning, right?
yeah. The I know about the insane card value, but the
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's like I sat and I opened a box just for fun
Mm-hmm.
and also to see what the cards look like. Right?
Yeah.
It's got like the same card stock as Pokemon almost. So like the card stock didn't impress me. Uh, the IP is like it's Disney. It's like kind of cool. But from my understanding, I don't know if you've heard anything about it. I don't want to go too long about it, but I guess it's like imagine Magic where you attack yourself and your opponent can't stop you.
What? What's the
Uh,
one?
you your
Okay.
cards you've seen the cards before,
Yeah,
right? Where it
yeah, yeah.
has
You
like the
showed me
little
some of them.
circle. It has the circle and the shield. The shield is health, like in Magic, like
Mm-hmm.
toughness.
Yeah.
And power is you tap a card to get its power as points, and at 20 points you win.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. That's right. You're saying you had first one to get to a certain point.
And
Okay.
so, or you can also choose to attack with your power as damage on an enemy creature.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can like play keep away, or you could just like tap your cards, and there's no real combat.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there's no playing on opponent's turn either. So it's just and it's got the Final Fantasy mana system of a card from hand face down once per turn.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So yeah, I was given like the quick rundown. I said, I mean, it sounds like if I could get a starter deck for $16, I would try it, but yeah, it's not. It's going to be a while. I think people are determined to make sure the game is not very beginner friendly.
Yeah. I heard the. No, I don't want to keep going on Bio Lorcana, but I did see like I don't know how true this is because I didn't do any research into it. But I saw like a letterhead from like the distribution or Disney or whatever about like um they have a block on online sales for card stores for 1 week of the first release of the set so that local stores have priority over sales and getting players in because they care about the local community supposedly. But you're saying there's already boxes on TCG Player listed?
Oh yeah, for like 400. I mean, because the thing
Uh,
is like if I'm a verified seller
mhm.
or if I'm on eBay, right? There's like every single person that Gen Con line.
Got on
That was
and
like my argument because the
scalping
Gen
it.
Con
Yeah.
line was like really long. Like, I had to stand in for like an hour and a half to buy a box.
Hmm.
But I mean, and even while there, people would come out of the line and stand next to the line to buy stuff, and the line would say, "Hey, we're out of starter decks," and the guy's like, "Skip the line, buy starter decks for me at $50 a piece," and it's like, he bought this starter deck for $14. That yeah, they're sold out for today, but like that's like kind of the vibe I was getting from the game more than like I think that I don't know where it's going to land,
Hmm.
but I don't think it's going to be as big as it looks at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, the IP alone, I think, is just getting people who want to play are probably really want it, and then there's like probably a lot of scalpers and like collectors that are just jumping in and who are trying to resell and stuff like that because the IP is so big. Because Disney's just so big
Yeah, the
in
IP
general.
is. I feel like everyone from Pokemon and from all the other games moved over to
Mhm.
that.
Yeah. Were you able to play against? I forgot his name. The guy we talked about last week, the Magic
I
Hall
was
of Famer
there.
that played that helps design cards for the physical Shadowverse Evolve game.
Sadly, I was there on Thursday, and he wasn't there till Friday and Saturday.
Oh yeah, you only went for one day. That's right. Dang,
Yeah,
that
I went for
sucks.
one day.
Mhm.
I went in, bought my stuff, and left. I wish I would have because I got like a little raffle ticket
Hmm.
to like enter like the autograph and the battle session because I bought from the
Hmm.
Bushiroad booth. But yeah, sadly I was not there. So
Dang, unfortunate. That would have been pretty cool. Anything else exciting about Gen Con or Gen Con?
Not really. I kind of just went to grab this stuff, do the thing. I saw a lot of good, positive reactions towards Shadowverse. I saw people playing the demo. Uh, I saw some people that I didn't know were into the game that actually said that they were like all in on it, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Like, well, not all in, but like they were definitely like more into it than I thought. Like Brian Jaeger.
I think it's Jaeger. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, him and like his crew, Marcus and all them.
Yeah, I saw he was actually hosting the Shadowverse Evolve tournament there. I think on Friday or Saturday, because I saw
Yeah,
he made a post in the Facebook group
yeah, it
about
was like
like
an unofficial one that they were like popping
mm,
up. Yeah,
yeah, that's pretty sick. I'm glad there are people in the Chicago area that are very all in on Shadowverse. It's good to hear.
so that was I saw them and I talked to some other people and you better believe I was out there
Mhm.
marketing. When I'm stuck in the Warcon line for an hour and a half, I'm like, yeah, I'm playing this game. I'm showing people the NFC chips. I'm like, yo, check this out. I pull Erasmus out and I go, boom. Uh,
That is kind of cool to show people, especially who are like don't know anything.
well, I'm in the
Yeah.
line and it's like
Hmm.
it's time to do my marketing in
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
guerrilla marketing tactics.
Steal all the Lorcana players away.
Get them
Uh,
to at least maybe buy a box, try out the game. I mean, do what you can. See, like people ask, like, how do I get my local started? You just talk people,
yeah.
and hopefully it works.
Yeah. Speaking about locals, how was your locals this weekend? Or
Well,
did you
Gen
go to any
Con is
locals?
45 minutes from me, so we only had 4 people this week.
Oh yeah, because everyone was going to Gen Con. That makes sense.
One was a new player. We did actually. We were only gonna have 3 people. It was looking pretty rough, and then a
Mm.
guy walked in the door, and we said, "Hey, you want to learn a card game?" And he is I mean, he plays Yugi, and he played Weiss, he played Vanguard, he played Force of Will, he
Mhm.
plays Hearthstone
I mean, if he plays Hearthstone, it's
and
like he plays the
Runeterra.
game. I
Yeah,
played
yeah.
Runeterra a little bit. I didn't like the game too much, but
So
yeah.
it's like this thing where like he plays a lot of card games. So it was like,
Mhm.
okay, sit down. 10 minutes later, he's like, okay, and I'm like, hey, you want to join a tournament for free so we can get our promos? So we had a small 4-man. I played mid-range sword, went 2-1. My one loss was actually to the new guy because it's like he didn't realize there's like summoning sickness on the penguin, or there's not summoning sickness on abilities. So it's like this thing where it's like he's new, but if I saw something like egregious happen from him, I would go, hold up. I think you meant to do this. And Rune is actually so powerful that's like it was enough to destroy 4 Swordcraft. I think also like my list is really greedy. I sent it to you.
Mhm.
I think I opened like I mulliganed into like a really heavy hand against him as well, so that didn't help.
Oh yeah. I mean, the matchup is already like a pretty much Rune favored for the most part. I feel like so.
Yeah. The other matchups were like a sword mirror where we actually played 3 games and I went 2-1 in them,
Mhm.
and then against Haven where I went turn 11, I believe, and managed to clutch out the victory with a top deck storm.
Nice.
The removal was too much from Haven. It was getting a little scary, and then it was like if this top deck is dead, I think I lose. But if it's not, then I win. And
Just the better drawer, it seems.
yeah, well, I mean, like it was 11 turns, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
that can only provide so long.
yeah. Makes sense. And that was
But
your only local, right, this week?
yeah, I
Yeah,
only have the one local. I need to try to revive. I need to try to start a second one, but
yeah.
until then,
All right, cool.
how was
Um,
yours?
Mine was very interesting. So, I like last week, like I said, I went. Did I talk about the 3 round shop championship or no? Last week, I don't remember.
The one where some guy top cut.
No. Okay, never mind. That's something different. Okay, so I think this happened after we did the recording. Oh yeah, it is because I remember people. Also, to the people who like asked me where the podcast was, I mean, thanks for even watching this garbage. I think, but I went to Top Spot here in SoCal. They had a Shadowverse championship thingy. I forgot what they're called, the showdowns. and went there to go play. Like I said, shout out to those people who were like, "Yo, where's the podcast this week?" Because we missed last week because we were gone. Um, went there. It's okay. I don't blame the shop for doing this. But they had like I want to say like around 25 people or so. I don't remember the exact number of players, maybe even more. Uh, it was 3 round Swiss into top 8 because they had a hard cutoff time for when the store closes and they need everyone to leave, right? So, and according to the rule book or whatever Bouchard sent them, they says they can play with that many players. You can play 3 to like 6 rounds or something, or 3 to 5 rounds for the event, right?
They saw 3, it said good enough.
Yeah. So they did 3 rounds. So I went 2-1 with Flaming Glass Dragon. I only lost to one player there, who was also on Flaming Glass but on Haven. He also watches this podcast, so shout out to, I'm gonna screw up his name. I screwed up in the last video we recorded. I'm pretty sure Prescia, I think is his name. Prescia. I don't know if that's wrong. I'm so sorry. You can just yell at me later when I see you again. Oh, actually, I won't see him for like 2 months because he said he wasn't gonna show up anymore because he won his qualifying spot at which I'll talk about later for regionals, and he's like, screw set 1 meta, he's moving on to set 2, so he's not gonna show up to locals anymore. Insane. Yeah, which honestly, if I won, I would probably be relatively the same. I'd probably only go to like 1 local a week then, but I'm still grinding stuff out. So yeah, I lost to him, and then so I went 2-1.
Has no end.
Yeah. So I didn't make the top 8 because my round 1 like got dropped out of the event after round 1, and so I had the worst tiebreakers of all the X1s. So I think it was something like 4 or 8 X1s didn't make top 8, which was really funny. Which was unfortunate. I totally understand. I don't blame them for doing this because cutting rounds short. I kind of wish it went maybe 1 more round. It would have helped me, obviously. That's why I care. But so yeah, I didn't make top 8 for that store championship showdown. After that, the next day we went to this other store, which I will not name, but that's where Prescia won first place there with Haven. That was a very interesting event because it was in the morning, so I went to it. I've never been to this store before. This was for a shop qualifier for a regional spot. The store, all the tables, all the play space was literally outside the store, and it was incredibly windy because this store is on the coast near the beach. All right, multiple times people's decks started flying away in the wind, and we had to chase down the cards to get them back. It was actually crazy. That event, I ended up getting top 3. Officially, I got 2nd place. But the store owner who ran it kind of ran the event really weird. Because I think they didn't have the proper software set up for it, so they had to do it like everything by hand. It was very weird. I played the mid-range swordcraft list that I have a deck profile on this channel. The only change I made was I cut 1 Flora Fencer Evo for another Shadowed Assassin Evo, which I like better because it turns out I'm not doing triple floral as often as I thought I was. Yeah, so that was my run there. It was kind of sad because there was, I think it was like 14 players or so, and we only got 1 qualifying like invite, so only first place got it. So yeah, the rest of us got kind of screwed. I was hoping to like either scrub out early and drive all the way to Card Arena afterwards, because there during the same day there was another shop qualifier that I was considering skipping this one and to just go to Card Arena. But for some reason I kept winning at this one, and I was like, crap. And it took so long to finish the event out that I couldn't make it in time for the Card Arena one, because they started I think at 4 o'clock, and by the time we finished up there it was like 20 minutes to like 4, and so I couldn't make the Card Arena one, which sucked. But then the next day after that, I went to another shop qualifier much further to this store called, I think it's called The Light, and that was a 45-minute drive over there. That place was really hyped because we got 35 players for that event. I decided to take Haven to that event. Basically the list I posted, except the one change I took out Death Sentence and played like a 1 of Moon, which really didn't do too much. It was like okay in like 1 instance. But that event I went 4-2 and bubbled out of top 8 for that one, but there was 3 invites at that one, which was really cool. I think first place was Forest, followed by Haven Control List, and then I think third was Sword.
Forest. I need to
Yeah,
soften that.
yeah. It was like the Rose Queen stuff, basically a bunch of fairies until Rose Queen turned and then burned to death. Um, so that was really cool. Forest winning that one was pretty great because I haven't seen a lot of Forest success recently as far as like winning entire events. It's been mostly like it's been doing decently well, but it's never been like, you know, just destroying everything. One thing to note though is that at that event, a mid-range, I think it was a mid-range Abyss player actually went undefeated in Swiss, but then I think they lost in the first round or something of top 8. I'm not exactly sure where they lost, but they didn't end up getting a qualifying spot, which sucks.
They lost where it mattered most.
Yeah, I know. This is why you don't go undefeated in Swiss. You get that curse in top top cut. No. But yeah, that store was really cool. The buy-in was insane. That was like $20 buy-in, but they gave out free packs. They gave us still the shop still didn't have the Angelic Snipe promos, but they had a ton of quick bladers, so they gave out quick bladers to everyone. Which was really cool, and they said that they're gonna just mail us the promos once they come in, so we like left they said join their Discord and all that stuff. One thing was really funny that happened there, so the story I'm gonna tell you, like the guy who was kind of upset, he was in his right to be upset about what happened here, because I think he came in later than everyone else, so he didn't know, like everyone was kind of chill with it, but there was one player there that had Japanese, like they had a mostly English deck, but I think they were missing like a handful of cards in English, and because they had the Japanese version of the deck, right? So they played a couple. They like kind of got confirmation from the TO and stuff like that. That like and like the TO asked everyone like, "Hey, is everyone okay with this?" And no one really complained. Everyone was like, "Yeah, it's fine, whatever. It doesn't really matter to us." It was just like a handful of dragon cards, and unfortunately, I think it was around round 3 or something. A person there played against that person, and then made a complaint that they were playing. They won I think the person that was making the complaint to even said they won, but they were complaining to the TO that this person is playing Japanese cards and they shouldn't be because this is an English event, and they are correct. Technically, to the rules, it was fine, or they shouldn't be playing any Japanese cards. So when that happened, we were like, it was myself and someone else like, what cards do you need? And because they were playing dragon, I was like, here, I have my dragon deck here. So I loaned them the cards they needed. The other person loaned them the cards they needed in English so they could continue playing in the event, which I'm sure both of us would have done in the beginning if we knew that they needed it. But because I'm pretty sure this is the reason I think this guy came later, because the TO did announce like 30 minutes or 20 minutes before the event started, like, is anyone have a problem with this? Because then they'll if someone has a problem, we'll figure out something to fix this person's deck so that they could still play in the event, because they didn't even care about qualifying. They just wanted to play because I think they were there with some other friends or a friend or whatever. And after that, like after we fixed it and had them swap out to English cards, I overheard the guy was like figuring out who the exact TO was, and they were like going to file a formal complaint with Bushiroad, which is, I think, a little bit insane. But
that's always the risk. I don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah, like I think, like, not to shit on the guy or anything, 100%. Like, I think he was being a bit of a dick, but he was kind of in his right to be a dick in a sense, because technically in the rules you says you have to play English cards, but we kind of got the okay with everyone who was like, no one gave a shit like that this person had like 6 cards in Japanese while the rest of the deck was in English. And if anyone made a complaint, I'm pretty sure we would have just swapped the cards out initially.
See, that's the rough thing, is they weren't, and that's like, that's the problem. I don't. Oh man, I'm always like really on the fence with stuff like this because it's a lot. It's a little bit of like a quagmire, right? Like, got like.
That's what
it's the shop qualifier. It's not like one of the showdowns, like one of the like weeklies. It's
that's why I'm like, the person was completely in their right, and they technically did nothing wrong, but it just seemed a little extreme towards the end. Like, you're going to report the shop for letting this, because they're not reporting the shop for letting them play Japanese cards. They're reporting the shop for letting them switch the Japanese cards to English.
Okay, well that's wrong. That's wrong.
That's what he literally said to the TO. Like that's what he was going to do. And all right. Sorry about that. You're going to see a jump cut here. My computer for some reason decided to stop like working, and so luckily the video didn't get corrupted, so we're just jumping off where we left off, which was I was telling Dean about the guy that was reporting the store for letting the player fix their deck to English from Japanese cards to English cards. Also, sorry if you hear random noises in the background for Windows. But go ahead, Dean, you were saying?
Okay, I was saying I think it's a little bit of an awkward situation where I'm pretty sure the actual ruling, I'm imagining like Weiss because that's the one I'm the most familiar with, where people play Japanese cards, would be okay. We're sorry, because honestly, the TO is not supposed to ask the Ks like it okay. They should just say like sorry, you need to have the cards in English. Like I understand like at a small event you can do that, but like at a qualifier, no, probably not.
Yeah.
I think the thing would be like, I guess if you're gonna do it, just be like, hey, I'm gonna turn a blind eye. Because the ruling should be like when it comes to their attention is you come over and you go, I'm gonna have to give you a game loss because it's a game loss for improper deck sheet. It's the same thing as like an improper it's like the same thing as like having the wrong card in your deck. It's like a game loss followed by please fix your deck according to like what you submitted. So it'd be a thing where you said this player lost that round. Well, it's okay. That's the game loss. The game loss is that round. You lose it automatically by default, and just put those cards in. So they shouldn't be upset that they replaced it. I do understand a little bit of like, whoa, why is my opponent have Japanese cards in their deck? At the same time, I know I myself don't care, but I'm imagining somebody who comes to a shop qualifier that's angle shooting because the Japanese cards probably shouldn't care either. They probably know the cards. It's not like we have like any like giant breadth of card pool or anything that's like super spicy.
Yeah, it's a weird scenario. It's like I said, like the person was in their right 100% to like be like, hey, this person's playing Japanese cards, it's not allowed, and so forth. I think at the end it was getting a little bit too crazy on like I'm gonna basically report the TO or whatever to Bushiroad about it. It was that part was kind of like, ooh, that's very extreme. Like why are you doing this? Like you've already filed your complaint, they've corrected it, move on from there, and it's not even like you lost that round. I think like because they didn't even report it till after the round was over too, so they didn't even do it during the match or whatever. Or maybe they didn't play them. I don't have 100% of the facts. I guess maybe it sounded like the way the player was talking about it, it sounded like they just finished playing them and then that this person has it, or maybe he was walking by a table and saw it or something like that. Maybe I should say that. But at the end of the day, that was kind of crazy, I think, or not crazy, but like extreme response at the end was little much, I feel like. But yeah, but yeah, I think that kind of wraps up my locals. And bubbling at that event was pain. Like the whole reason I bubbled was I lost round one. Okay, this was the crazy part. I played against Sword round one and my opening hand was bad, so I mulliganed, and then I mulliganed into another very heavy hand that didn't have good like board removal, and I was like, that kind of sucks against Sword. Like I want to like draw into like my board wipes or like Jean's or something, and I just wasn't doing that, and I kind of almost stabilized. I needed like one extra turn to stabilize, and we're both at 10 play points at that point, and the guy plays Flaming Glass from his hand with no pieces in the graveyard or the cemetery, and I don't even think he was playing any pieces to begin with. I think he just had it as like on a 10 play point 7 storm immediately on the board that also deals 3 to everything. I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay.
You remember what I said about Sword? You look at your hand, you have a number to fill every slot. You went, whoa, there's nothing past 7. Gotta fix that.
We gotta play the 10 drop. Oh man, that was just very surprising. Yeah, it was just unfortunate. And also, I might have played the matchup kind of like, even with that bad hand, I might have played it like not optimally. I'd have to like actually revisit it the match, but I wasn't thinking about it after that. But yeah, unfortunate, didn't get my qualifying spot yet, but I have a few more chances to go. I think there's like another one this weekend in San Diego, which I probably won't go to because I don't want to drive 2 hours really, unless I find a group of people who want to go together. Otherwise, the following week afterward, there's like another like 2 qualifiers and then 2 more after that. So I have a good shot. I feel like I like performed decently well at local, so I feel like I hopefully will be making it, getting a qualifying spot for regionals before the end of this month. Hopefully, so I can stop.
Hopefully, I
Yeah.
can join you. Hopefully, I can win my 6-man local, or however many we get. Hopefully, we get. I mean, we can get like 10 to 11 depends.
Mm-hmm. You need I think a minimum 9 to get a qualifying spot for regional, because I think it says on the web, I don't know, on the app it's different too. On the app it says you need 8 or more to have your shop tournament or your qualifying tournament get a spot for regional, but then there are but on the website itself it says you need 9 or more, so no one knows exactly what is correct or what isn't. And I don't know exactly what information Bushiroad's getting, because the one where I got second place, they still had us fill out second and third information, and there was nothing there saying whether or not like there was going to get 3 spots to this tournament or not, even though we didn't get enough. So I'm assuming they're just going to figure it out themselves once Bushiroad gets the information. It I don't know. It's very weird.
Well, I know that our area is like I said, I have to go start being a cheerleader in other cities, I think.
Yeah.
But also within my own city, we need to like I said, Gen Con, we had lower attendance, so we'll have to see next week where we're at.
Yeah, Gen Con being there is very big for like locals on the weekends. All right, where are my show notes here? Okay, so we have some community stuff here to show off before we get into the rest of the show here. So the first things first is, what is this one? We'll do whatever. Oh, okay. So if you're in the Facebook group, there are new Shadowverse Evolve moderators in the Facebook group. The team is getting bigger. I have gained power, and I'm going to be ruling with an iron fist and deleting everyone's post that says anything that I don't like. No, but these are the new mods on the group. So I guess congratulations to the new team leaders there. Hopefully we can all work together and keep the community on the Facebook group thriving, keep it safe for everyone, all inclusive and all that stuff. Just figured I'd show this for everyone because we're trying to keep this as community focused as possible. The next thing we have coming up here is this. This was posted, all this is Brian here, but this was posted in the Facebook group. There is a free online tournament with prize support. If you need to join the Shadowverse Evolve Facebook group, and then you can find this post there, or you can typed out this Discord there and join this Discord, because it looks like they're going to try to do remote duels on this tournament Discord. Hopefully they will be free, and I think they're talking about maybe like doing some occasional entry to get bigger price support. But this is really cool for people who don't have huge local scenes and they want to get competing with their physical cards. This gives them another opportunity. There's the information right there. August 19th, starting 12 p.m. EST for the event, and the prize support: first place $50, second place $30, third place $10, fourth place $10, and yeah, it'll be really cool to see this. So they said, I think it says there too, they're also going to be streaming it, which will be really cool. Is that right? I should have reread this before bringing this up.
Don't worry, you're doing perfect.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, event will be live streamed, which will be really cool. I love community events like this. Speaking of community events, we actually are finally going to be announcing the Burn 1 thing we've been having. So if you're in a Discord, you'll already see information there, kind of like outlines of what's about to happen. But our game plan here to help support the community, especially people who are forced to play more online than locally because they have very tiny locals and they can only maybe go once or twice a month or something. We are having a, hopefully it's going to be seasonal. It's going to be weekly also. We're just doing like best of one format. I don't think we plan to do a top cut until later, but generally it's going to be like a weekly ranking tournament where the top players will get points, and at the end of the season we'll see whoever has the highest points or whatever. And I think what we're going to be doing is this, I haven't solidified this just yet, so it might change after saying this, but I think we're going to take like the top 8 or maybe 16 highest placing point wise for the entire season to do like one final like showdown of like the best of the best like players for the rankings, to compete to see who's the final champion of everything. Otherwise we'll just decide by like who has the most points, but I feel like that's kind of unfair for some people who can't make it every week, and whoever shows up every week and does well is going to be, oh, I guess it's supposed to incentivize people to show up anyway. But yeah, we're planning to do that. So if you're interested, you should join our Discord, which is in the information below this video on YouTube. We have a link to the Discord there. If we're and I'll if I remember, I should when this video goes live, I'll post it in a comment to our Discord information and stuff like that. Otherwise, if you're interested in another webcam tournament, the one we just posted, the community one, check out the Shadowverse Evolve Facebook group, which I should actually, I don't know, I haven't checked if I updated the default more info section for our videos, but if I haven't, I'll start including the link to the Facebook group so people can find it, along with the Shadowverse Evolve community Discord as well, for the global audience for the game who speak English, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like seeing these community things. And another thing to talk about the community, Dina and I talked about this, I think for future episodes for On Evolve here, we're going to be like, if anyone has like community art projects related to Shadowverse Evolve, memes or anything like that, we're going to do kind of like a meme review or something like that, just seeing what the community has out there. So if you have custom art or custom leaders you want to show off, send it to us. I think what I'll do is we'll make a separate submission thing on the Discord. So if you join our Discord, then you can submit that stuff there, and then every week whatever submissions we get, we'll show it off like towards the end or maybe right before Guess That Flavor Text or afterwards. I'm not exactly sure. That way we can get more community involvement in the podcast, because I really want the community to grow, and I want them to feel like this podcast is for them mostly, even though it's just like Dean and I talking.
Impromptu thing that you mentioned when you mentioned art, it made me think, have you seen the guy who does the custom tokens?
Yeah, this is part of the reason why I was like, that's like, I think that's really cool.
I actually feel like I want to buy one just to see how they look insane.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, it'd be really cool if people are making these custom tokens, custom cards, whatever they want to show off. It'd be really cool if we could show it off here too, and like get them more exposure and stuff like that. But yeah, that's part of the reason why I even thought of like we should have a community spotlight thing that's just more than just us talking about things, which I think would be really cool, and hopefully people like it and submit stuff. The biggest thing is people need to submit stuff, otherwise we don't have anything to show off.
True.
But yeah, I think that kind of wraps up that, so we can go into the next segment if you want to go off, D.
Let's go. Oh, okay. Well, I think usually when you're the one who gives the card, you should mention what it is.
Listen, I can't remember the rules.
This is everyone's favorite segment, Guess That Flavor Text. So basically what happens is every week, me and Kit will take turns reading the flavor text of a Shadowverse card from a card that exists in physical.
Yeah, but it's a digital flavor text, because for some reason there's no flavor text in English. They deleted that off the card.
Yeah, so that's why this is like really rough, because I've read some of the flavor text, but definitely not all of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kit doesn't even know he plays digital.
Yeah, barely play it.
So yeah, basically the way that the lifelines, because there's the lifelines, you start off with 4 points, and every lifeline you use reduces the points you get by 1, and you have up to 3 lifelines. What craft the card is, what set it's in digital, and if it's a creature, amulet, or spell. So currently we're tied up. Is it like what 3-3?
3-3, I think. And then last week
Yeah.
you didn't get it, and the week or no, last week I didn't get it, and the week before that you didn't get it either.
Yeah,
So
this is a little bit
yeah.
harder than the Pokemon one because most people know all the Pokemon, but I feel like nobody knows the random Shadowverse cards.
This is tough. It definitely is. So should I just jump right in and give you?
Let's do it.
All right, I got a short and sweet one for you this week. All right, here it is.
Okay.
She snaps her fingers, and the darkness begins to stir.
She snaps her fingers, and the darkness begins to stir. It has to be Abysscraft. Oh, well, I guess it'd be. Oh no. Oh, this is the one. This one's actually insanely good because Blood and Abyss are smaller pools in physical. Because like, or Blood and Shadow because it's considered Abyss. But if I ask, do I get? So here's a question now. If I ask, do I get Abyss? Yeah. What do I get?
I think we should go off of the physical card, right? So we.
Holy shit, he's making it harder. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Or do you think it's more we should be like?
No.
Okay.
No. We can
because in future sets, I'm gonna say a card, you'd be like, "What set is it?" I'm gonna be like, "It's from Portal."
You'd already do that. You got the golems. Those golems are definitely not rune card.
Oh, true. Oh man.
Oh god. She snaps her fingers and darkness appears.
Darkness begins to stir.
Darkness begins to stir. Is there a card that snaps in its artwork? That would be like 2 on the point. See, Oh, okay. Wait. What type of card is it?
Okay, it is a spell.
It's a spell. Okay. Oh no, it's a spell. Hell?
I believe in you, Dean.
You have faith in me?
Yeah, you can do it. Because I'll tell you for a fact, I would never guess this, but I feel like you could.
Okay, I'm gonna need the class. Is it Abyss?
It is Abyss.
Okay, so in Abyss we have. Oh my god, what if I don't know the name of the card? So we have a 2-mana removal spell in Abyss. We have like the zombie revival card, like Deathbringing or whatever, or Death's Breath.
Yeah,
Death's Breath can't be it. She snaps her finger, and darkness begins
to stir.
It's a spell, so we rolled out Dire Bond. It can't be Razor Claw, so it's between Soul Conversion and that like 2-mana removal card. Because I literally don't think there's another card. There's Hungering. No, there's the Bat Summoner 3-mana card I've been playing, but I don't think that there's no. It's just bats. There's no she. So there's a girl on 2 of them. So is Soul Conversion or is it the 2-mana card? So I'm imagining like if the darkness begins. Oh no, if the darkness begins. Would that be Soul Conversion or would that be...
Come on, dude, you can do this. We can't do this all night. I believe in you.
So the last question, is if I ask the name of a card, would you be willing to give it to me? Because this is much harder than Pokemon. Or should I do the card that I know the name of?
I mean, if you describe the effect, I could. I think that should be good enough.
Okay, I am gonna like gaslight myself out of Soul Conversion. It's the 2-mana card that deals 3 damage and you mill a card.
Is that your final answer?
That's my final answer, and I can't believe it's Soul Conversion actually. But yeah,
it's not even Soul Conversion. It's not that card either. Damn, I thought you would get this one. You ready for what it is? It's Summon Bloodkin. Wait, that's in
physical?
Yes, it's in the starter deck.
Oh damn! I'm sorry, I don't remember bad cards.
I know it's a 1 play point spell. Summon a Frost Bat. Wait, no, Forest Bat. Why do I always say Frost?
Why do you keep doing it?
It's in my brain. It's just always been Frost Bat. Okay, Forest Bat token, and then put a Forest Bat token into your EX area. That's all it does.
I knew what the card did actually
Yeah.
once you said it, because I remember being like, it's actually unplayable. That's all I remember is when you said that, I'm like, oh, it's an unplayable back card. Okay.
Yeah.
It's notice when I was naming cards, that was not on my radar.
I know. That's why I was like, oh shit. Here, I'll throw it up on screen for everyone. I probably should do this more often, huh? Boom. There you go. It's this card. Summon Bloodkin. I was like, I knew I want to get an Abyss card this week, but I was like, fuck it, I'll do this one. This seems really random.
It was a rough one. Like some of these are really rough. Maybe one day we'll get some more points off of that.
Maybe one day they will decide to print the flavor text in the cards, and then we can start using the physical flavor text.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, I'm really excited. There are some really easy ones in the future to get. Also, what do we do when we hit the horses?
Oh shit! I totally forgot about that. I guess
some
we
of them
can.
have cards.
Do they have cards in the digital game that are the same?
Some of them.
I guess
that are the same. They're named that.
I don't know. You know what? That's like 6 months from now. Let's just worry about.
We'll figure it out. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll keep working
future,
on the rules.
That's future us problem. All right. Well, I guess we're still tied. I gotta win next week so I can get ahead a little bit.
It's okay.
All right. So the final things here, some fun announcement, or I guess one announcement. Maybe I should have saved some of those other announcements for the end here. But this is our final announcement. That's going to be really cool. I talked to Shadowverse, and he's going to come on as a guest in a future episode. I don't know if it's going to be next week or the week following that. I haven't really talked to him on the exact date yet because he is on the other side of the world. But he said he stays up late or whatever, so it should work out. I'm gonna talk to him and try to solidify a date as soon as possible and get it out there. That way, it's either next week or the week after. Hopefully, within the next 2 episodes, we'll have him on. And while we'll have him on, we're gonna be doing an AMA with him. So I'm gonna create a channel in our Burn One Discord under the Shadowverse Evolve stuff for the AMA. And anyone that has questions for Shintoverse, throw it in there, and we'll ask him on the next, or hopefully when he shows up for his guest appearance. We'll go through the AMA and have him answer all the questions you guys want to know, whether it's Shadowverse Evolve related. Maybe it's like you want to know what anime he likes or hates or whatever. Just throw it up in there. Please, nothing like disgusting or rude. That's all I ask for. We'll basically ask him whatever you guys throw up in there. That way you can kind of get some information out of him, get to know him a little bit more. Because for someone who has put themselves out there so early on during the Japanese release of the card game, I feel like Western audiences just don't know much about him. They just know whenever they type in the Discord, like for the meta report or something like that, his WordPress shows up every time. But I feel like no one really knows the man behind all that stuff. He was definitely a big driving force, I think, early on for us and for people getting into the game when the English one was announced. A lot of people went to him for resources because he was one of the few English speaking content creators at the time, which was really big.
Definitely like the big bridge. And you notice we were heavily inspired by his tier list. Like we did
early on for sure.
Right?
I mean, we shouted him out too, because like a big thing, at least for me, because I don't get to play the physical cards when that happened, was I went through all his meta reports, his tournament reports, and read them all just to get a really good grasp of like what the decks were like and like what the meta was looking like when he was playing early on. Right.
I do know that like not only we did, but like I noticed there were a lot of tier list videos popping up, and they were like kind of like the Shintoverse, just like thrown up on the screen. And you're like, nice.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's really cool. Well, hopefully next week. Yeah, he posted his most recent thing too, which is really cool. I gave that a read too, which I had a lot of agreement with what he talked about. Dragon being the best deck in the format and why it is the best deck. It was kind of the same conclusions I like internally came to. And I was like, yeah, this makes complete sense, at least in my eyes, of why Dragon is powerful and why it's like one of the best decks to bring it to any tournament you're entering, especially if you're aware of what other decks are roaming around in your local meta. It makes it very strong.
Exciting times.
Yeah, I'm excited to be able to have him on here as one of the big pioneers for the English content and get to know him a little bit better, and everyone else will be able to get to know him a little better too. Get more of the community out there. After that, though, if anyone else has suggestions for I guess big community members to come on, do interviews, do AMAs, whatever with us for future guests, that'd be really cool. Just throw us some suggestions, or maybe have them reach out to us too. We're open to anyone, content creator, local people, whatever, who run communities. We're open to have anyone on. Obviously, like, I hate to admit it, but like, if you already have a big presence in the community, you're going to be bumped up higher than some of the other people of like who can come on us sooner. But if you have suggestions out there that you guys want us to get interviews, and so you guys, I mean, everyone in the community can get to know more of these big figureheads on a personal level too. Yeah, just let us know who you want on, and or have them reach out to us, and we will work it out so we can get a recording done with them and get it out there. I really want, I think Dean too really wants this to be very community focused, very community built up podcast for everyone, and not just us talking about our local stuff that's happening, even though it's like a lot of fun too, right?
Yeah.
All right, I think with that we're gonna call it quits here. I'm not sure how long this one went this week, but if anyone that's made it to the end, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to us yet, please do so, because it really does boost our morale and pushes us to do more content and do more for the future of the game. Yeah.
And expect more deck videos from me in the future, or not more gameplay videos. I finally have. I think I finally assembled the pieces of Exodia in order to start.
Oh, your camera set up. Yeah. Definitely look forward to more Dean commentary, my commentary as well. Whenever we do commentary together, and I should be starting to get local recordings done as well. There's been a little hiccups along the way for me that I didn't expect to hit so early on when I thought I had everything set up. But yeah, I think that's it for this week. We hope to see you guys in our next episode. Later, everyone.